Hey, today we're going to be looking at the 4 battery-powered speakers that we used at an event outdoor here this past weekend. We were out doing a main street in a local community, local town. It was basically their holiday kickoff. So we had Christmas music going for an area of about 4, 5, 6 blocks. And we were utilizing all of these. We had a block of EV speakers. They did one section of block. We had a block that was doing the JBL speakers. We had a block that we're using the Mackie, and then we had a final, we were using the Alto, the Busker here. So we've got Mackie, Alto, JBL, and Electro Voice. And what we're going to do in this video is I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of different criteria and put them in the order in which I thought they would fit. So just kind of follow me here. First off, you can see there's different sizes. We've got a 6.5. We have, and these are 8-inch two-way cabinets, a 6.5 two-way. When it comes to low volume sound quality, I'm going to put them in the order in which I think that they sound, how they went. I would say at low volume, the Mackie, I think it actually was probably the weakest sound quality. Then the Busker, then the JBL, and the Electro Voice. So basically, and we're talking that very similar in lower volumes when it came to sound quality, but there's just a little bit more warmth, I thought, in the Busker. So, sound quality at low volumes. Let's go sound quality at higher volumes. I'm going to put it this way to give you the explanation, and then there's one little caveat to this. The higher volumes, 6.5-inch, just did not do it. The EV, I think, sounds at a higher volume just the best of all of these. The JBL and the Mackie were very similar. The difference is that if you've ever listened to JBL has a certain bass sound, and they had a better on the bass sound. When it came to the vocals, I think the Mackie had the vocals carried farther. Secondly, is I think it was as far as they carried better, and then they carried it farther as the second part of that. Is the JBL, when it came to the vocals, it seemed that it gave us a warmer, kind of a little more low end, but it didn't have quite the throw that the Mackie. That's why it was in higher volume, stacking those two up. And when it came to the Everse 8 here from Electro Voice, it had the best combination of sound pressure, low end, high end, clarity. It was basically of all of them, it was my absolute favorite for sound wise. Battery life, it's probably going to be more like this. So you do this stacking up again. Is that the Alto used about half of its battery, we think, somewhere in that ballpark. The Mackie used about half of it. It's tough to tell because they are not very accurate. When it came to the JBL and the Everse 8, they used about 40% of their battery, but they were also covering an area where I needed these two to be louder than these two. So they were out there kind of thumping along a lot longer and a lot louder than these two were. So they went through a little bit more battery. But I think these two battery life are going to be equivalent, and then I think you just have a kind of a step down as you go to the others. Now, the interesting thing about the Alto is it has an economy switch down there that's basically a battery saver. Now, if we were going to click that in, the way this would go is it would switch us almost completely, because we've got 10-hour battery life, 10-hour battery life, 10 to 12 hour of those, and then 24-hour battery life if it's on the Econ. Of course, that takes away some of the sound pressure capability, but it has that capability. The last part, ease of use. Let's look at the ease of use. Put them in order here. And this one's a tough one, not so much from the standpoint as the Busker. I thought was probably the most difficult one to utilize because there's a lot of stuff going on back here, and of those things that are going on back here, some of it doesn't just make a lot of sense for a DJ who doesn't get into live sound. And it was a little bit when it came to having my assistant do some things, it took some time. The JBL has a lot of things going on also back there, and it has these knobs that are colored and switching channels, and it was a little cumbersome to get into. Really, for ease of use, the Mackie is possibly the easiest one to use, but because I'm so experienced with Electro Voice, this makes sense to me. When you push a button and I can see on the little screen here all the numbers, that makes sense to me. The Mackie has knobs I can turn. That makes sense to me. Not a knob that I can basically continue to spin forever and never see anything happening. Or I should say, not sure exactly what is happening. These, I think, for ease of use, were definitely the best when it came to that. But once you get used to using any of them, they all are going to become, much easier to use. It's just when you're trying to train a new DJ in and try to explain some of these features to them, and it'll be like, wow, that went right over my head. Price point, where these are going to fall in line price point wise. Under $400, under $400. Right now, these are running about $500, and of course, you're much higher on the Everse 8. Quality-wise, components-wise, and different things, that's kind of, I think, how they're falling in as far as what they have for technology and different things. Depending upon what your price, where you are budget-wise and what you can afford and what you want to put into this, they're all going to be able to do the job. It's just that you're paying for quality materials. And not that these aren't quality, but there's just some limitations to these that you don't have with these two. There's some limitations with this that you don't have here. There's that kind of a thing. You're going to spend a little bit more, but you're going to have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to your speakers, where you can actually, in some cases, run this as a main speaker. Maybe run this as a main speaker. I would not recommend running these two as main speakers with any of your systems. It's just they do a nice job for what we were using them for, but I don't know if they have the capabilities that these two, and of course these don't have the capability of the Everse 8 for surely. We'll put links in the description below so you can go and check all of these speakers out. These are all available at your favorite retailers, Alto stuff, Mackie stuff, JBL, Electro Voice. They're all out there, available on the market right now. Check out those links, go out there and find out, which one's going to be the best one for your situation. They will all do the job. Just it depends on, what type of, if you have more flexibility in doing different jobs with this, or if you basically are just looking for something that's quick and easy and small and compact, that you can basically put two of those in a backpack and off you go. This is John Young. Thanks for watching.